Hello guys, 2014 Ford Fusion, and today I'm replacing low beam headlight bulbs. So to start with, I would recommend, if you get to this job, replace your low beam and your running lights at the same time, because they are not easy to replace, and mine went bad like in 6 months. First I had to replace running lights, now the low beam. There are a few videos on YouTube how to do that, and most of them suggest that you take partially or entire front bumper off, and if you have time and ability to do that, that's probably the best way to do it and right way to do it. But if you're short on time, there are some shortcuts. So on this side I already started and just want to see if it will work, and it does. I got out my old bulb. So how I replaced my running lights before and now I go to the low beam. You remove all those plastic clips and Torx T20, I believe, or T25, T25 actually. Torx. You pull the bumper, the front part of the bumper, as much as it goes out. Then you take your two Torx bolts that holds the headlight itself, and then when your bumper is loose, but do it one side at a time so the bumper has more slack. So right now this headlight is pulled to the front, so it's pushing against the bumper now, so you see where it's supposed to be now, but where it's now. So usually I pull it till the point when this bracket that comes together with the headlight can go against this plastic piece that is still attached to the frame. So basically I'll show you. Here's this bracket, so I push it until it stays like this. So I'm doing this third time, I believe. I have never problem breaking anything, as long as you're working in a warm shop, so the plastic is not frozen, nothing should break. But again, this is not the proper way to do it, so if you have time, do it proper way. So just to get more room for my fingers to get to the headlight bulb, I have placed those blocks, and I removed this bracket that was sitting like this with 2 10 mil bolts. And now I have my light out, so next challenge will be to get the new one in, and I will try to do it right away. So my bulb is all the way in. It wasn't terrible, like it took a little bit of time just to get a grip on it, and those rubber grommet on top helps actually a lot, so the fingers do not slip. So right now I just need to put the rubber cover back, this guy, and put my headlight back, and next one I will just show you entire process. So in terms of bulbs, I have ordered LED ones, C-Light. They were around 50 bucks and on sale around 40 bucks, and they come 2 bulbs with wiring with the starters, and really nice of them to include gloves. So whenever you deal with headlight bulbs, make sure that you do not touch the light element, either that's regular bulb or LED bulb. You want them to stay as clean as possible, not to touch them with your hands, not to touch any surfaces on the car. Just go directly into the headlight and twist it to get it sealed right away. So it came with the few zip ties too, in case if you need to zip tie your wires, and instruction manual. So read your instruction. They have really good tips for working with their product. So let me get to the installation. Alright, so the bumper is pushed all the way back on the passenger side. So now we will pull this side out as much as we can, and you can use this apron to hold it back. Now we will remove two Torx. So the headlight is loose right now, and now we pull it out to get this bracket just against this one. Just like that. So now we can kind of get behind, but this bracket is on the way. So to remove it, we will just put some blocks against the headlight over there. And remember, like when you doing stuff like this, when you work on any plastic pieces, make sure that your vehicle is warm. It's been sitting in the garage for a while, so the plastic doesn't break. So now we can remove those two 10mm bolts and get the bracket out. Now this bracket comes loose. Now we can reach our bulb. In the same way I had replaced the running lights before. This light was still good, the driver's side was gone. We will replace both at the same time since we are going with LEDs. So this is done. As I mentioned before, the new bulbs LED comes with nice clean white gloves. So utilize them because you don't want any grease, any debris of your hands to get in contact with those light elements. So now you just need to carefully go in with your bulb, and the socket itself, it doesn't sit, it does not line up with this plastic housing. It sits like this, so it lines up with the axle of the vehicle, like it goes along the vehicle. So when we install this, the bulb doesn't go this way as the housing is, but it actually has to go this way, a little bit under the angle. And also, like you can see, there are 3 tabs. They're all different sizes, so there should not be one way to put it in, but if it happens that they are the same, make sure that when the bulb goes in, it's supposed to be like this. Profile is supposed to be vertical. So now As I mentioned before, you don't want to touch any surfaces, so you just gently put it in, and when it's in a clean environment, you can play with it and twist it and just to get it installed. So you need to find the spot where it goes in with those 3 tabs, and then you twist it clockwise. And I think I'm all the way in. So now you just plug the socket, push it into the housing. You don't want anything be sticking out. Just be gentle, take your time. And now we can put the rubber seal on. So now when it's in, we can actually, next thing I will do, I will probably shut off the lights in the garage and check if the pattern is correct on the lights, if I got the bulb right in the right direction. So let me stop for a second, I will check my pattern and I will get back to you. So everything looks right. Now we can remove our engineering blocks. And get our headlight assembly back to normal. So now we can get our bracket in and 2 10mm bolts. So it will go. Just make sure that this tooth, it grabs behind. Just like that. Now we can get our Torx in. Just, that will help to line up the bracket too. And the other one. And now we can get the bolts tight. So all is left to get those Torx and plastic clips to put back into the bumper cover. So we'll do that quickly. Make sure that everything lines up well. So as I already mentioned before, the proper way to do this would be to take your front bumper off. What is not that terrible of a job. For that you need to remove, I believe, 3 clips on each fender. Then like a dozen of, I believe they are 7mm a screw or bolts from under the bumper. You still need to remove all these clips. Then there probably will be wiring harness going to your bumper. In my case, I also have the block heater plug in a bumper, and also you will need partially remove your fender liners to reach to the fender bracket where the bumper is attached. So that is time consuming, but that's a proper way to do it. If you want to do it quickly but not the best right way, you can use this technique. It worked for me already a few times, so hopefully it will work for you and save you some time and money. Do it yourself, guys. Thanks for watching.